welcome. I'm Isabela Santos, your host for Ecom Daily News. We're here with Pete Rizzo, an editor of Bitcoin Magazine. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for giving me your time.
And thank you for pronouncing my name with such robust vigor.
Thank you. You're welcome. So can you tell us how you guys decided to do the conference here? Why here? Why Miami?
Yeah, we actually were scheduled to do this conference out in Los Angeles, but with all the restrictions around COVID, obviously a little bit of complications there. The great city of Miami was just super accommodating, right? We were looking for a place to host the venue. I think it was obvious to us that Bitcoiners want to get out, they want to meet. There's a lot to talk about in the bull market right now and just the general kind of upswing and attention around Bitcoin. So we wanted to create a forum to get people together, and again, Miami was just super great to us. They welcomed us, they gave us the space, and the global community responded.
Will there be more conferences here in Miami? Was it a positive outcome, or do you guys regret coming to Miami?
Oh wow, we've just been super impressed by the whole city. I think that you can't ask for more. Great weather, there's been a great environment. I think it's just super impressed so far.
Awesome. What can we expect from Bitcoin Magazine in the future?
Yeah, Bitcoin Magazine, I think, unique among cryptocurrency media, being a Bitcoin-only publication, right? So our perspective is we're writing about the technology and the people who are moving Bitcoin specifically forward, right? So I think what we get from Bitcoin Magazine is, a lot of content about what Bitcoin is, how to use it. Of course, there's a lot of great guides. If you're just getting started, Bitcoin Magazine is a great resource for that. But really a Bitcoin-only perspective, right? There's a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there that are making claims about their technology and innovations. Bitcoin Magazine stays outside of that, and we're telling you the perspective of Bitcoin, right? We think Bitcoin is the best monetary network to build these future innovations on, and that's what we focus on. And yeah, super great articles in the history, technology, and really every aspect of Bitcoin that you could think of.
You touched on a little bit about Bitcoin and the different types of cryptos.
Yes.
How do you feel about the different types of cryptos? Do you invest in them, or no? Is Bitcoin Magazine a hater as well?
I like to say that Bitcoin is an invention, right? It enabled something that really wasn't possible before. But prior to the invention of Bitcoin in 2009, you needed to have a central bank or a government to operate currency. Bitcoin is a computer science invention. It's a software. You can download it. Again, not something you just buy on an exchange. But it's an invention, right? It enabled humans to do something that they couldn't do before. Other cryptocurrencies, and again, I've covered a lot of these over the years. I've been a journalist since 2013. I was at early Ethereum events. I saw a lot of the cryptocurrency community develop. I think very charitably, you can call them claims to future innovations. They're claiming that they're going to do something in the future or bring some innovation. In the case of Ethereum specifically, I would say, they launched with a roadmap. They've delivered, a certain percentage of that roadmap. They certainly haven't delivered all of that roadmap, and I think along that roadmap, there are still claims that may or may not come true, right? So I think when you're evaluating cryptocurrencies, you have to take that scientific perspective. Bitcoin is an invention. It works. It's getting bigger. It's becoming a larger monetary network. The other cryptocurrencies, yes, they're being traded. Yes, people are using them. But they also, I would ask people to evaluate, the guarantees they get in these systems. Within Bitcoin, the way that we approach the technology development, there's not a risk that because of somebody else's decision, you're going to lose your money. And that's not true in other cryptocurrency systems. You don't have those strong guarantees, or you might not in every case, right? I think you want to evaluate them on that level and ask, what guarantees am I getting from these protocols? They're not stocks and bonds, right? Cryptocurrencies are a new thing, and Bitcoin particularly, again, was an invention. We had never had the ability to have money without a government, and now we have it because of Bitcoin.
How long have you been in the Bitcoin Magazine?
So I've been working with Bitcoin Magazine since last year, so 2020. On my journey, I was definitely, I think, someone who was more open to exploring other cryptocurrencies over the course of my career. And I think I've just become less confident in those projects over time, and I decided I wanted to dedicate my work just completely to Bitcoin, because I think there's a lot of people who are new to Bitcoin. They don't really understand the history and the context of what happened, and I got to see a lot of that, and I know a lot of the people who were there, and I think I feel a responsibility to share those stories for people who are coming to the ecosystem now.
Do you get paid in Bitcoin?
I do take some salary in Bitcoin. It took me a while. I didn't get there overnight, right? I think the thing with Bitcoin is I started writing about Bitcoin when it was $50. I didn't invest. It took me years to get confident in the system, 4 years exactly. And I think with everybody, you're going to take your own route, right? I never try to push financial advice on people. You want to get comfortable with Bitcoin and understand and use it, and once you start using it, that experience is going to increase over time, right? You might get some on an exchange, you might pull it off into a hardware wallet, you might download a Lightning wallet, start doing more complex things with it, but you don't have to go get rid of your bank account tomorrow, right? You can ease into it. Bitcoin's a voluntary system. You can choose to use it. No one's making you use it. If you don't want to use Bitcoin, you don't have to use Bitcoin. Again, the people in the community, though, we feel strongly about what we're building, and that if your financial system or payment systems are cumbersome, we're hoping that Bitcoin's going to be a better and better alternative.
Well, Bitcoin is a community, like you mentioned. How long did it take you for you to dive into that community, or did you right away you bought your Bitcoin, you're like, okay, I'm part of the community, I'm a pleb?
Remember, I didn't buy, right? So I just asked people questions, right? I kept having people explain it to me and explain it to me and explain it to me. I like to say it took me the longest to understand Bitcoin out of anybody, maybe, right, that I've ever met. But I'm still proud of that journey, right? Because it was, for me, I was just, I was a journalist. I needed to ask those questions. I needed to see the thought process, and having done all that due diligence over the years, I have that level of confidence in Bitcoin. So again, I think it's whatever gets you that level of confidence, right? For me, I had to ask a million questions. I had to interview a million people around the conference. Like, I doubt you'll find many speakers that I haven't interviewed at some point in my career. I didn't always ask the best questions, but I learned. And I think I've always tried to improve my work.
Thank you. Is there anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, I would encourage anybody who's interested and new in Bitcoin to, join the ecosystem, try some, get some, try it out, ask questions, get involved in some way, right? Bitcoin is not a theoretical system. It's here today, people are using it, and it will continue into the future, right? So this isn't something that I'm proposing to you as like a crazy idea. Bitcoin exists, it's been live for 12 years, it is impacting the world. Again, that's not a hype pitch, that's factual reality, right? Like, Bitcoin is an invention, it exists. Governments now don't have a monopoly on, creating new monies. And if you think that that's an exciting narrative and it's something you want to be a part of, I think that it's a great narrative for people in the world, right? Who have had to live under these structures where their money has been abused by these different systems. And we have a great new technology that is working on those problems. It's called Bitcoin. If that interests you, I would encourage you to get involved. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Pete_Rizzo_, and obviously on Bitcoin Magazine. Yeah.
Thank you so much.